This week's Power to Praxis question asks, whose perspectives are missing? Whose lived experience or local expertise could shift the design? By the time we reach this pre-engagement stage of the project, most of the key decisions have already been made. The priorities are set, the frameworks are locked in, the timelines are often fixed. But what often goes unquestioned is whose thinking shaped those decisions in the first place. Because every project design reflects a set of perspectives. It reflects who was in the room, who was listened to, and whose knowledge was treated as credible. And just as importantly, it reflects who was not in the room, who was not consulted, whose knowledge is not treated as credible. When certain perspectives are missing, it's not neutral. It shapes what problems are seen, what solutions are considered possible, and what risks are ignored. For example, we might say a project is inclusive of people with disabilities because one representative was consulted or they were part of a co-design team. But whose perspective does that actually reflect? Perhaps we're only hearing from people with physical disabilities only. Are we also considering the perspectives of people who are neurodiverse, people with psychosocial disabilities, people who experience stigma or communication or access might be very different? Because inclusion can become quickly a single story, and that single story can mask the diversity of lived experience that should be shaping the project and the work. The same applies to all aspects of practice. Whose voices are easiest to include, whose perspectives are more complex, more uncomfortable, or require us to change the way we work. This question asks us to pause and look again. Not just at who is present, but whose absence matters, whose knowledge could fundamentally shape how this project works, whose experience could challenge the assumptions built into the design, and what would need to change to bring those perspectives in meaningfully, not just symbolically. Because inclusion is not about adding voices into a fixed design. It's about willing to let those voices change the design itself. And that requires a shift in how we understand expertise, authority, and ownership in this work. So as you sit with these questions, consider not only who's missing, but what their presence would actually require of you. What would you need to let go of? What would need to be redesigned? What would need to be shared? Sit with those questions, let them shape how you practice, and I'll see you next week.